What's up, guys, and welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator. This does not look like an airworthy aircraft, but we are going to be flying it anyway. Welcome to the Shuttle carrier aircraft. This is a heavily modified 747.
Runway is clear. Once you are ready, set flaps handle to the takeoff position, and we will give you clearance to take off.
Got Houston talking to us here, but yeah, this is a, what was once a commercial aircraft that was retrofitted to, carry a space shuttle literally on its back. It was used for transportation. It was used for testing. We're going to be talking about all that, and I'm very excited to check this thing out today. This just looks so ridiculous. This is a shuttling shuttle, I guess you could call it. But yeah, so it is kind of interesting. So this is like a marketplace add-on for the game. It's not like, from Microsoft. It's by one of the partners or whatever. It's weird because you would think you would be controlling the 747, but if we go inside, we're inside the cockpit of the space shuttle, which is cool. We get a nice view here. We flew this thing in the last video, but it's kind of odd because you don't have like full control over the thrust or anything. We can just set it to take off power, and that's all we're going to be able to do. But, not super realistic from like a simulation standpoint, but we are going to be able to at least look at it, talk about it. I got some fun facts and stuff. We're going to try to get this bird off the ground and not run it off the side of the runway here. Holy cow. Okay. Yeah. I think we might be using the thrust from the shuttle. What's the noise here? That's not what a 747 sounds like. It's fine. It's good. We're doing a science experiment here. It's going to be great. Going to be gaining some altitude here. We have a beautiful summer day here in Florida. We're going to be taking off from KMCO. We're going to be going to KTTS, which is the airstrip where the shuttle lands. One of the longest in the world, so we should not have much problem with that. Oh boy, we've got an escort over here from some fighter jets. I love that. Just a casual fighter jet approaching outside our shuttle window here. Not something you would see every day. But, yeah, we are going to be taking a bit of a right here. Did our gear go up? Our gear's still not up. It's not letting me put the gear up. I think it'll go up automatically eventually. But, yeah, we're going to make this right-hand turn here. And, my goodness, dude, look at this absolute monstrosity. I love it. So we're trying to get back onto our flight path here, this pink line when we can. We're just going to have a nice, easy left-hand turn here, and I've got some fun facts for you guys. So this thing was first developed in the 70s alongside the shuttle. Again, it was needed for transportation, so there are multiple shuttle landing sites. There's, obviously the one in Florida, California, New Mexico, things like that. If they wanted to move any of the shuttles around or anything, obviously they're not going to throw this thing on the back of a flatbed truck, so they needed some way to be able to get it around, and it's not going to fly itself underneath the atmosphere, you know what I mean? So, to be honest, I would love to be a fly on the wall for that conversation when they called Boeing and they were like, hey, we've got an idea. We would like to put our spaceship on the back of your plane. And Boeing's like, yeah, sure, you could take, I think they had two of them. There's one from an American Airlines plane and then one from a Japan Airlines plane. And, yeah, whatever. It's not a big deal. We'll just throw some posts on there. We've got some, vertical stabilizers. These massive ones back here really kind of keep this thing mounted on there. We've got one up on the nose as well, and we should be good. It's not going to be a problem at all. We could definitely put one plane on top of another. It's actually really funny. So these things, the little stabilizers here, the top of it's kind of like a knuckle or like a ball. Attach orbiter here, which this is the orbiter. That's like the space shuttle itself. This whole vessel is called the orbiter. So attach orbiter here, and the other one says black side down. So like obviously with the heat shield and everything, the bottom of it's black. So, same as your IKEA instructions, putting together your nightstand, step-by-step instructions for attaching a space shuttle onto a 747 that was like a 1 or a 2 day process. So yeah, this thing was primarily used for transportation. It was also used for testing, especially early on in the 70s. Obviously, you don't want to send this thing up to space and not know how it's going to perform like when it lands. So what they did is they took it out to Edwards Air Force Base, and they had explosives down here on all the attachment points that they would actually release the shuttle, shoot it up off of the plane, the 747 would fly off, and the shuttle would kind of like coast around and come try to land under its own control. So we will be doing that later on in this video. To be honest, I think we might be getting kind of close. I see the coastline coming in here. Yeah, this is going to go a lot quicker than I thought, but we're looking pretty good. Technically, I think their approach is going to be from the south, so let's go ahead and start banking a right here with our little escort friends, and we're going to see if we can successfully land this thing. I don't think we're going to see much from this cockpit, though. Now, what's really interesting is just how much the shuttle affected the performance of this jet. It's crazy. I mean, obviously, take a look at it. Like, this is basically like flying with a giant barn door on your back. Like, think about running with a backpack full of bricks or something. Like, that's what this 747 is having to do right now. And I can't even imagine the stress on the pilots. This thing had to fly way lower and way slower. So when you think about a modern jet, 35,000 feet cruising altitude, stuff like that, this thing was around 15,000. I'm pretty sure that was the ceiling. It obviously flew a lot slower. I think the average cruising speed was somewhere around 400 miles per hour. It couldn't take on full loads of fuel. The thing was too heavy to take off if it was fully loaded with fuel and everything, so they would have lesser fuel and they would make multiple stops. Typically, the range would be something like 5,500 miles, or I'm not sure if that's 100% correct, but I do know that these were limited to 1,000-mile legs. So if you were flying the shuttle from the East Coast, from Florida to California, you're talking about at least 3 or 4 stops, which is crazy. Obviously, weather was a huge deal, too. I don't even know if they would fly on a day like this, but if there's any sort of bad wind, turbulence, inclement weather, especially rain, the thermal tiles on the shuttle are so sensitive, they would break if it was, in rain. So very, very small flight windows, obviously very, very delicate thing here. You've got this massive, super heavy piece of equipment, or really 2 pieces of equipment, attached to each other that you're flying up into the sky. And I feel like there's a million things that could have gone wrong, but it seems like they all, kind of worked out pretty well. I think even early on, they had a plan that just underneath the plane, back behind the flight deck, there was like an explosive situation where they could fire it, blow a hole in the fuselage, have a slide come down, and then people that were in the plane could slide out of it and parachute to safety if they had to. But obviously that was never used, and I don't think it ever actually made it into the final design. Because there were people on board. They kept the first class cabin in here up front was actually usable. NASA employees and things could fly in there. Everything back behind that was all stripped to save weight, but you had more than just the pilots on board. Just an absolutely fascinating vehicle here, dude. This is crazy. All right, so we are approaching the intercoastal here. I've actually watched a couple of launches, SpaceX launches, that is, from here. Actually, I've seen the shuttle launch a couple of times. I was really young. I don't really remember it. One of my mom's really good friends had a house not too far from here in Titusville, kind of like down, I think, somewhere in here. I'm not exactly sure, but she could see shuttle launches from her backyard, which I can't even imagine how cool that would be, when the shuttle was in its prime. But yeah, dude, this thing is look at it coming out of the clouds, just so menacing. I can't believe we flew. I have the landing gear button here on my thing. It's not working. I really tried to set the flaps and landing gear and everything. I think it's maybe a little bit glitched or broken or whatever else, but it's fine. We still kind of got the gist of it. And I believe this airstrip, this might be it right here in front of us. I'm going to go ahead and cut our power. We only have, I don't know oh, there we go. Okay, flaps are going up. Beautiful. It told me that this is my flaps button here. This is flaps down and flap up. It told me that flaps would be controlling the speed of the aircraft, and it doesn't really seem like that's working. That's our runway that we're going to be landing on, I think. Is that it? That looks short for some reason. But yes, that is it. Wait, look at the map here. It says we've got 4 planes in formation, and technically it's not wrong. 1, 2, 3... and 4. But all right, let's try to lock in here, Trev. We are not going to be able to slow down. I don't know what's going on. Going to bring this around town. Pretty standard maneuver. Not really too worried about it. Again, we got this barn door up on top of us, but I think we're going to be okay. I genuinely cannot slow this thing. We might have to I might have to just respawn in right beforehand. Okay, now we have control over the landing gear, but I still can't put us into landing speed. We're just going to land with the shuttle at full speed. It's going to be fine. Let me see if I try it with the keyboard. Flaps, retract flaps is F5. I'm hitting F5 and nothing is okay. So I got to be honest. I think this is a little bit janky. The fact that we can't be inside the actual cockpit of the 747 is disappointing, but the fact that I can't even control the thrust at all with anything is... It says to use the flaps button and nothing is working. So we're going to go for a touch and go. I would be upset, but I got to be honest. The outside is pretty cool, pretty well done. And we also paid $5 for this. So I'm not going to be too upset. I'm hoping and anticipating that the actual shuttle landing stuff is going to work. That's going to be the last part of this video. And that's obviously the most exciting part. Coming into this beauty over here on our final approach. Kind of overshot the turn a little bit because I figured we'd be going slower, but we're not, it feels like we're speeding up. If I go full throttle, full flaps all the way, is that Nope, she's just stuck in go mode. I don't even know if we're gonna be able to get a little touchdown here. We'll see. Just a little touch and go. We got 3 miles to be able to make it work. 15,000 feet of runway, 1,000 feet of runoff on each side. Don't want to go too hard. Don't want to potentially break this shuttle. Put her down really quick. I think that counted. Hold on. Can I use this? I know we use this in the... Oh, chill. Oh, yo, no, this is not what I meant to do. Oh my God. Bro, what is going on? Okay, we gotta try to make a turn with this thing, and there's no way it's gonna happen. We're going. We gotta go to the landing thing. I'll see you guys in a second.
Gear touchdown. Nose gear touchdown. Brakes. It didn't went very well. Next time, try harder.
I'm gonna be honest. This is kind of endearing. We're having so many ridiculous moments. All right, Edwards Air Force Base over here in California, just north of Los Angeles. This is where they did a lot of that original testing. And what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be taking off. I think they went up to around 10,000 feet, and then they ejecto-cedo-cuzzed the shuttle off the ship. They just yeeted it off of the airplane, and the shuttle had to do a go around and land by itself with no power, one shot, do not miss your chance to blow type of thing. So hopefully we're going to be able to land this as well. Okay, we're spawning in with the shuttles now. It's not, dude, it's just not working. Maybe set his departure over here. Okay, so we've got the 747 with the Atlantis on the back. We're going to see if this thing works. Technically, the one that they used for these was called the, I think it was the Enterprise, and it was basically like a kind of a fake shuttle. It didn't have the heat shield on it. It didn't have any of the engines. It was still kind of built to spec. We're just launching in the shuttle here. Okay, we'll try it back in Florida. But it wasn't, it was built to spec. So it was kind of intended that eventually they would retrofit it and it would end up going to space. Never ended up doing it because they changed something in the design and whatever else. But yeah, that first one was just kind of like a, non-engine, non-spacecraft, just kind of a mock-up of it. It worked. All right. Well, here we go. We're going to use our flaps button to be able to get up to speed. Our gear going to go up here. At least we got that figured out this time. So we're going to be looking for 10,000 feet. We're currently at 2,000. I would imagine we probably want to kind of loop the airport here. So we're going to get this thing ready. That thing is going to be our ejecto-cedo-cuzz button. To make sure we're staying next to the Orlando airport. This is just so insane, dude. I love this thing so much. What a beautiful bird, man. What a testament to engineering and everything else, too. Like, the fact that they were able to figure this out is just absolutely incredible. Okay, so we're officially at 11,000 feet here. So, basically, I think what they would do, we've got the aircraft, or the airport still in sight. Yep, it's going to be down there. Basically, what they would do, they would get up here, they would level off. The astronauts would be in here. I think they did this like 5 times or 7 times or something like that. And they would ejecto-cedo-cuzz the shuttle off of the 747. The thing would peel off. He would go do his own thing, go turn around and land and whatever else. And now here we are in the shuttle. And all we have is falling back to Earth and hoping that we can end up getting back to the airport down there. 10,000 feet. We should have plenty of time. We're going to be fine. We're not going to undershoot it. We're okay. We're at 204. The thing is I don't know that Orlando, I don't think MCO has the capacity, the runway length to be able to take something like this, but we're just going to do our best, man. I'm actually going to have our, if we arm this, I'm going to have this thing ready. I don't know if we're going to have the actual parachute available. Got to be careful here. Watch our airspeed. Watch that height. We're at about 5,000 feet. Got to remember in our shuttle one how heavily we were dropping. Like, we need to make sure we keep altitude. I don't know if we're going to have enough again. Dude, don't trust me in a shuttle. I kind of undershoot it. We undershot the last landing with the shuttle last time. I was hoping to be able to get this one, but we're okay. 200 knots. That's a little low. We do have 4,000 feet, though. It's just off the left there. Keeping an eye on that runway. I mean, there's no way we're going to have a long enough runway. Do we want to try to go for this one right here? I'm going to go for it, dude. Let's see what happens. Put our gear down.
Gears down.
Gears down. Beautiful. We're going to bring her around here. Can't even see this runway in the exterior view. Now we can, I guess. Do we want to go for the far one? We'll go for the far one here. Let's go ahead and send the parachute. Just kidding. We don't have one.
Escort is leaving.
Thank you, Escort. Appreciate you. We're going to bring this thing around.
200.
Not exactly the best performance here. Bro, what are physics? Life is Roblox right now. Oh my goodness, look at that absolutely perfect landing. Okay, I gotta be honest, the mod is not the best, but I actually had a really good time today. So thank you guys so much for watching. That, my friends, is the SCA, the Shuttle Carrier Aircraft. Just absolutely insane to think about everything that went into this shuttle program over those, I guess, what, 30 or so years, 35 years? It was like early 80s into early 2010. So I guess it was just 30 years, but very sad. These things are very cool if you ever get to see them. There is one just down the street from me at NASA, which is awesome. I think there's one in California. There's one in New York. There's a few all over the place. But, yeah, we landed a shuttle again today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to see you guys in our next flight sim video. Let me know what you guys want to see next. Peace out.